I was just thinking about a scenario of where some unit owners, say condos, townhouses, where they share the same wall or they have connecting walls. There's some people that are more clean than others. And let's say you have somebody that's trying to treat an area, and they treat it they do the right thing. They go out and get the pest control company, they treat it. And then afterwards, they still have an issue. And then they realize that maybe that issue isn't their issue. It's someone else's that's coming over into their unit. What can you do there?
Most pests are what we call casual invaders. They come from the outside in. So about 90% of problems we can stop from the perimeters, like rodents, ants, American roaches, wasps, things of these nature, we can stop proactively. But one thing that can hitchhike into a unit would be like German cockroaches. Sometimes they'll come in on food, box, they can come in on an appliance, they can come on a lot of different items, and they can get hitchhiked into a unit. Also bed bugs hitchhike into a unit.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on bed bugs.
Usually they come in on a piece of furniture or maybe you got something used or pre-owned that had bed bugs, a mattress or some piece of bedding furniture or something, a nightstand, something like that could hitchhike into pests. And in that situation, German cockroaches and bed bugs will typically stay close to the host, or they'll stay close together unless their population starts to get so huge they start to outgrow their space. Then they'll start to move into other areas. But it is possible for them to head through wall sockets and light sockets into a unit next door, things like that we see happen. But usually they're starting to get pretty bad infestation before they start moving out into units next door.
Oh, okay. So have you ever had a situation where that happened?
Absolutely. We go into units, sometimes in apartment complexes, sometimes in hotels, where it's gotten so bad that we got to check units on either side, and we'll check units above and below if it's on a multi-level building. If things are addressed in a timely manner, it's usually not that big of a deal, but if something's let go and go and go. Now, obviously, if rodents are something we do, a proactive perimeter rodent control. But if a rodent gets inside a unit and it's not taken care of, a rodent can possibly move. They're roof rats, essentially. They like high places. If the attics and units are open, they can't move back and forth. So that's a possibility. But we prevent that by putting a good perimeter rodent program outside.
Okay. We're in, when are we recording this? We are recording this in January. It's been a little chillier than normal here in Florida. What could be happening with the rodent situation because of that?
Rodents are like human beings. They like, they're warm-blooded. So when the temperature drops, they will tend to want to come indoors more. That's typical. They may wander in more than they would in the summer months. Typically, we get a little better break on things like ants. They're not as bad because they're not as humid right now. We're not getting those rains nonstop like we do in the summer, so we get a little break. But when you do turn your heat on in the house, that can draw ants in as well, so that does happen. But we usually get a little bit of a break from ants this time of year.
Wait, also, did you just say that if you turn your heat on, it could draw ants in?
Sometimes when we heat our homes, you can attract ants to come inside, absolutely.
Men, there you go. There's your excuse to tell your wife, you know what, we're not going to turn it. Usually there's always one person in the house that's colder than the other one. They're like, we got to turn it on. You're like, no, I don't want to turn it on. I hate turning my heat on.
My wife hates heat. We never turn heat on. So we haven't turned heat on yet this fall or winter. So
I did it one time just to kind of get the chill out there, and I turned it right back off. Yep.
It just hasn't got cold enough yet to turn the heat on. But we get a break this time of year from stinging insects too, or bees. They slow down a little bit. But Florida, we always have the pressure. But in the summer or in the winter months, we get a little break. Termites slow down a little bit. They're not near as active. We still get calls and problems, but not near to the level that we will come when rainy, humid season starts.